What happens when one of Hollywood's biggest stars walks into what should be a friendly daytime television interview, only to find himself facing an unexpected ambush that spirals completely out of control? Today, we're diving into the explosive confrontation between Tom Cruise and Joy Behar that left the entire studio speechless and ultimately resulted in security escorting one of the most famous actors in the world right off the set. This isn't just another celebrity interview gone wrong. This is a masterclass in how personal agendas can destroy professional boundaries. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below because this story has layers that will blow your mind. The cameras rolled and Whoopi began her introduction. We're here with the one and only Tom Cruise, whose latest Mission Impossible film is breaking box office records worldwide. Tom, thank you for joining us this morning. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. Tom replied with his signature enthusiasm. I'm really excited to share what we've been working on. This film pushed all of us to our limits, and I think audiences are going to love what we've created. Sarah Haynes leaned forward. Tom, I have to ask about that incredible motorcycle stunt we saw in the trailers. Were you really riding off that cliff yourself? Absolutely. Tom's eyes lit up. We spent months preparing for that sequence. The safety protocols were extensive, but there's something about doing these stunts practically that you just can't replicate with CGI. When audiences see that shot, they're seeing something real, something that required every ounce of preparation and skill from our entire team. That's incredible dedication. Anna Navarro chimed in. How do you maintain that level of physical fitness and fearlessness at your age? Tom laughed. Well, thank you for the age reference, Anna. But honestly, it's about passion. When you love what you do, when you're committed to giving audiences the best possible experience, age becomes irrelevant. Every day I wake up grateful that I get to do what I love. And your co-stars? How do they react when they see you doing these death-dealing stunts? Sarah asked. They think I'm crazy, Tom grinned. But they also understand that it's about the integrity of the story we're telling. When Rebecca Ferguson sees me hanging off the side of a helicopter, she knows that what she's experiencing as an actor, that genuine concern and adrenaline, that translates to the screen. Whoopi nodded approvingly. It certainly shows in the performances. The chemistry between you and your cast is electric. Then Joy Behar cleared her throat, cutting through the warm conversation like a knife. Tom, that's all very interesting. Joy interjected, her tone noticeably colder. But I think our viewers would be more interested in hearing about some of your other beliefs and practices that have been in the news over the years. Tom's smile faltered. I'm sorry, what do you mean exactly? Well, your involvement with Scientology has been a topic of significant controversy. Don't you think our audience deserves to hear your response to the criticism that this organization has faced? The studio fell silent. Tom maintained his composure. Joy, with all due respect, I'm here to talk about my film and my work as an actor. My personal beliefs are exactly that, personal. But when you're a public figure with such influence, Joy pressed, leaning forward aggressively, don't those beliefs become a matter of public interest, especially when there are allegations of harassment and abuse associated with that organization? Those are unsubstantiated allegations. Tom replied firmly. I've never been involved in anything resembling what you're suggesting, and I find it inappropriate to use this platform to spread misinformation. Whoopi tried to intervene. Perhaps we should get back to discussing the movie. No, Whoopi. Joy cut her off. Tom, you've used your platform to promote these beliefs for years. You've criticized psychiatry. You've made statements about postpartum depression that many medical professionals found dangerous. Don't you feel any responsibility for the influence your words have had? Tom's jaw tightened. Joy, you're mischaracterizing everything I've ever said. I've never told anyone not to seek medical help. I've never promoted anything dangerous. What I have done is shared my own experiences and beliefs, which is my right as an individual. Your own experiences, Joy repeated mockingly, including jumping on Oprah's couch like a maniac while declaring your love, including your bizarre behavior during press tours. Don't you think the public has a right to question the judgment of someone who behaves so erratically? Excuse me, Tom's voice sharpened. Are you seriously calling me a maniac on national television? If the shoe fits, Joy shrugged with a smirk. Joy, that's enough. Whoopi interjected sternly. But Joy continued, I'm just saying what everyone's thinking, Whoopi. Here we have someone who claims to be this serious actor, this professional, but his personal life reads like a tabloid nightmare. Multiple divorces, estrangement from his children, and let's not forget the whole couch-jumping episode that had people questioning his mental stability. Tom stood up abruptly. That's completely out of line. Is it though? Joy shot back, you came on this show. You're a public figure. And these are legitimate questions about your behavior and the organization you represent. I came on this show to promote my film, Tom said, his voice rising, not to be ambushed by someone with a personal agenda. Personal agenda? Joy laughed harshly. My personal agenda is asking the tough questions that other interviewers are too scared to ask. My personal agenda is holding celebrities accountable instead of just giving them a platform to sell their movies. Accountable for what exactly? Tom demanded. For working harder than anyone else in this industry, for doing my own stunts, for being passionate about my craft, for promoting a dangerous cult. Joy fired back. For using your fame to legitimize an organization that has torn families apart and silenced victims of abuse. The accusation hung in the air like a poison cloud. Tom's face flushed with anger. You have no idea what you're talking about, don't I? Joy leaned back smugly. Because I've done my research, Tom. I've spoken to former members, I've read the testimonies, and frankly, I find it disgusting that someone with your platform continues to defend the indefensible. You've spoken to disgruntled former members with axes to grind. Tom shot back. You've cherry-picked information to support a narrative you decided on before I even walked in here. That's exactly what someone would say who's been brainwashed. Joy continued with a cruel smile. You can't even see how you sound right now, defending an organization that most people recognize as a cult. Brainwashed. Tom's voice cracked with disbelief. Are you listening to yourself? You invited me here under false pretenses to attack my personal beliefs on live television. I invited you here to have an honest conversation. Joy shot back. Something you're clearly incapable of having. Sarah Haynes tried to jump in. Maybe we should take a commercial break? No. Joy waved her off dismissively. Tom, let me ask you this. How do you justify staying silent when former members of your organization have come forward with horrific stories of abuse and intimidation? I don't stay silent about anything, Tom replied, his composure hanging by a thread. But I'm not going to validate lies and conspiracy theories on your show. Conspiracy theories. Joy's voice rose triumphantly. So the FBI investigations are conspiracy theories. The court cases are conspiracy theories. The documented evidence of harassment campaigns against critics. That's all just made up. You're twisting facts to fit your narrative, Tom said through gritted teeth. The same way you've twisted this entire interview. I'm asking legitimate questions, Joy fired back. Questions that any responsible journalist would ask. Responsible journalist. Tom let out a bitter laugh. Is that what you call this? Because from where I'm sitting, this looks like a hit job disguised as journalism. Whoopi tried again to regain control. Joy, maybe we should focus on Tom's career achievements. His career achievements. Joy turned to Whoopi with mock surprise. You mean like when he told Matt Lauer that psychiatry was a pseudoscience? When he claimed that vitamins could treat depression? Those career achievements? I never said vitamins could treat depression. Tom snapped. That's a complete fabrication. Really? Joy pulled out her notes with theatrical flair. Because I have the transcript right here from your Today Show appearance where you said, and I quote, that people should look into nutrition and exercise before turning to psychiatric drugs. That's not the same thing as saying vitamins cure depression. Tom shot back. You're deliberately misrepresenting what I said. Am I? Joy's smile was predatory. Or are you just uncomfortable being confronted with your own words? Anna Navarro shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Joy. I think Tom has a point about context. Context, Joy whirled on Anna. The context that this man used his celebrity platform to discourage people from seeking legitimate medical help for serious mental health conditions. That is not what I did. Tom's voice was getting louder. I shared my personal experience and encouraged people to research their options. Your personal experience with what? Joy demanded. With being a spokesman for an organization that forbids its members from taking psychiatric medication. That's not true either, Tom said, his face wreathing. You're spouting propaganda. Propaganda. Joy laughed harshly. Tom, do you or do you not believe that psychiatry is harmful? I believe people should have all the information available to make informed decisions about their health. Tom replied carefully. That's not what I asked. Joy pressed. Do you believe psychiatry is harmful? Yes or no? It's not a yes or no question, Tom said, frustration evident in his voice. It absolutely is, Joy shot back. Either you think psychiatry helps people or you think it hurts them. Which is it? I think like any field, there are good practitioners and bad ones. Tom said, I think people should research their options and make informed decisions. So when someone is suicidal, they should research their options instead of seeing a psychiatrist. Joy's voice dripped with false concern. When someone has severe depression, they should just read some pamphlets. That's not what I said, and you know it? Tom snapped. Then what are you saying? Joy demanded. Because it sounds like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Sarah tried one more time to intervene. Joy, I think we're getting off track here. Are we? Joy turned to Sarah. Because I think we're finally getting to the heart of who Tom Cruise really islanded. Not the movie star persona, not the carefully crafted public image, but the real person behind all the PR. The real person? Tom stood up again, his patience finally exhausted. You want to know who the real person is? The real person is someone who works 18-hour days to entertain people. The real person is someone who has dedicated his life to his craft and to making the best films possible. The real person, Joy countered, is someone who can't answer a simple question about whether he thinks psychiatry is legitimate medicine because it's a loaded question designed to trap me. Tom shot back. No matter how I answer, you'll twist it to fit your preconceived narrative. Or maybe, Joy said with a knowing smirk, you can't answer because you know your beliefs are indefensible. My beliefs are my business, Tom said firmly. Not when you use your platform to influence millions of people, Joy retorted. Not when you go on talk shows and spread dangerous misinformation about mental health treatment. I have never spread misinformation. Tom's voice was still now. But you certainly are right now. Really? Joy pulled out another paper. What about when you said that there was no such thing as a chemical imbalance in the brain? What about when you called psychiatry a Nazi science? I never called it a Nazi science, Tom said, his voice dangerous now. Didn't you? Joy's eyes gleamed. Because I have multiple sources that say otherwise. Your sources are lying, Tom said flatly. So now everyone who criticizes you is lying, Joy pressed. Your ex-wives who've spoken about how your beliefs affected your marriages, they're lying. The former members of your organization who've described being harassed and intimidated, they're all lying. You're bringing my ex-wives into this now. Tom's voice was incredulous. What kind of interview is this? It's the kind of interview where we actually ask the hard questions, Joy said smugly. The kind where we don't just let celebrities promote their movies without examining who they really are. Who I really am, Tom said, his voice shaking with anger. Oh, is someone who didn't sign up to be personally attacked on live television. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you became a spokesperson for a cult. Joy shot back without missing a beat. The word hung in the studio air like an explosion. Even Joy's fellow hosts looked shocked at how far she had pushed things. That's it, Tom said, his voice deadly quiet. I'm done with this circus. Oh, you're done. Joy's voice was mocking. You can't handle a few tough questions, so you're gonna storm off like a child? Tom turned to face her directly, his famous smile completely gone. Tough questions. Is that what you call this character assassination? I call it journalism, Joy shot back. But I guess when you're used to everyone kissing your feet, actual accountability feels like an attack. Accountability. Tom's voice rose again. For what? For working harder than anyone in this business, for entertaining millions of people around the world, for using your influence to promote dangerous ideologies. Joy fired back instantly. For putting your cult above your own family? Don't you dare bring my family into this. Tom's voice was a warning now. Why not? Joy leaned forward aggressively. It's public record that your beliefs have cost you relationships with your children. Don't you think that says something about your priorities? My relationship with my children is none of your business, Tom said through clenched teeth. It is when you're a public figure whose actions affect other families, Joy retorted. How many other parents have lost their children because they followed your example? That's enough. Tom slammed his hand on the table, causing everyone to jump. You have no right to talk about my family. I have every right, Joy shot back without flinching. You came on this show, you made yourself a public figure, and that means everything is fair game. Whoopi finally stood up. Joy, that's really enough now. No, Whoopi. It's not enough, Joy turned on her. This man has spent decades using his fame to recruit people into a dangerous organization, and we're supposed to just let him sit here and promote his movie like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Tom's voice cracked with rage. What exactly has happened? What crime have I committed other than believing in something you disagree with? The crime of using your platform irresponsibly, Joy said coldly. The crime of putting vulnerable people at risk with your anti-psychiatry rhetoric. I have never put anyone at risk, Tom said, his voice shaking with fury. But you're putting people at risk right now by spreading lies and hatred. Lies, Joy's voice hit a new pitch of indignation. What lies have I told? Every single thing that's come out of your mouth since this ambush started. Tom shot back. You've twisted my words. You've made false accusations. And you've attacked my personal life. I've asked legitimate questions about your public statements and associations. Joy countered. If you can't handle that, maybe you shouldn't be doing interviews. Maybe I shouldn't, Tom said, ripping off his microphone. Maybe I shouldn't subject myself to tabloid journalism disguised as legitimate television. Tabloid journalism. Joy's voice was shrill. Now I'm asking about documented facts. Documented lies, Tom corrected. Spread by people with personal vendettas and amplified by hosts with personal agendas. Personal agenda. Joy stood up now too. My personal agenda is protecting the public from dangerous influences like you. Dangerous influences. Tom let out a bitter laugh. I make movies, Joy. I entertain people. You spread hatred and division on national television. I expose the truth, Joy shot back. Something you're clearly allergic to. The truth. Tom's voice was incredulous. You wouldn't recognize the truth if it hit you in the face. The truth is that you're a spokesperson for a cult that destroys families, Joy said with vicious satisfaction. And the truth is that you're a bitter, small-minded person who ambushes guests to make herself feel important. Tom fired back without hesitation. The studio fell completely silent. Even Joy looked stunned by the directness of his attack. Sarah Hades whispered, "Oh my God." But Tom wasn't finished. You want to talk about destroying families? What about the damage you've done today? What about the lies you've spread to millions of viewers? I haven't told a single lie, Joy said, but her voice lacked its earlier confidence. Every word out of your mouth has been a lie, Tom said, advancing toward her chair. Starting with the lie that this was going to be a professional interview. Don't come any closer to me, Joyce said, suddenly looking uncertain. Or what? Tom's voice was dangerous. Now you'll call security. You'll have me arrested for exercising my right to defend myself against your attacks. Whoopi stepped between them. Tom, I think you should leave. I think you're right, Tom said, but his eyes never left Joy because apparently this show has become a platform for personal vendettas instead of legitimate journalism. Good, Joy found her voice again. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Tom turned back to her one final time. You know what the real tragedy is, Joy? You had a chance to have a real conversation with someone who's dedicated his life to his craft. Instead, you chose to be petty and vindictive. That says everything about who you are as a person. And you choosing to defend a cult instead of addressing legitimate concerns says everything about who you are. Joy shot back. The only cult I see here, Tom said with deadly calm, is the cult of ignorance that you're leading. With that, he turned and walked toward the exit, but Joy couldn't resist one final shot. Running away, Tom? Just like you always do when someone asks the hard questions. Tom stopped dead in his tracks and slowly turned around. Hard questions. You want a hard question, Joy? Here's one. How do you sleep at night knowing that you use your position to attack and humiliate people for your own entertainment? I sleep fine, Joy said with a smug smile. Because I know I'm doing the right thing. No, Tom said quietly. You're doing the easy thing. It's easy to tear people down. It's easy to attack and mock and spread hatred. What's hard is building something, creating something, contributing something positive to the world. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Security, Joy called out loudly. I think our guest needs to leave. I'm already leaving, Tom said as uniformed security guards appeared at the edge of the set. But not because you're throwing me out. Because I refuse to be part of whatever this pathetic display was supposed to be. As Tom walked off the set, followed by security guards who looked as uncomfortable as everyone else, Joy turned to the camera with a satisfied expression. Well, I think that tells you everything you need to know about Tom Cruise's character, but even her fellow hosts looked disgusted. Whoopi shook her head. Joy, that was completely inappropriate. Inappropriate. Joy's voice was defensive now. I asked the questions that needed to be asked. You ambushed a guest, Sarah said quietly. That wasn't journalism. That was accountability, Joy insisted. But the confidence was gone from her voice as she realized even her own colleagues were horrified by what had just transpired. And there you have it, one of the most explosive confrontations in daytime television history. A reminder that when personal agendas override professional standards, everyone loses. Make sure to subscribe for more incredible stories like this one, and let me know in the comments.